Hi, I'm Neil Nines. I'm an artist, DJ, music producer, musician from Baltimore, Maryland. This is an inside look at my new album, Wunderlust. The biggest message I want to send with this album is conveying a sense of adventure and beauty through that, beauty through experiences. You'll notice a lot of my music is very melodic and ethereal, but also builds up into some traditional EDM drops. I have gotten so much from travel and adventure, and it doesn't even have to be going abroad, even in my own city, trying new things, doing new things. So I hope to instill that through the music and the messaging from that. What I enjoyed most about making this album goes back to some of those travels and experiences. A lot of the music was written on trains and planes and buses, in hotel rooms, in random lobbies when I had the time in a coffee shop, and pulling in those inspirations and experiences from some of the places I went. For example, Deutsche Bahn was written on the train from Munich to Berlin. The Battle of Eros, Requiem, was inspired by Mozart on my journey to Vienna from Budapest. So I think that part really was truly enjoyable, as well as working with all the talented people that were involved. I think teamwork does kind of make the dream work here, and it's a lonely road for a music producer. So any opportunity I had to work with singers, visual artists, anything to bring this together felt really amazing. So the album is structured into 15 songs. It starts with the track Arrival, which is kind of a cinematic interlude. I have a viola player friend, Soji, playing on it. We recorded that in Berlin. So it's very ethereal and kind of brings that forward. And you'll hear that throughout the album, these interlude parts. So really it goes up and down in energy, which I hope to convey. And ends with the track, The Last Oasis. And really it's kind of thinking of the album conceptually as this interstellar, interdimensional train ride or plane ride, like travels. And I really wanted to use this future fantasy concept to help drive me forward. So I hope that you get that sense as you listen to the album. So my favorite song on the album, and if you asked me this 6 months ago, it would have been one thing. 3 months ago, it would have been another thing. And today it is The Last Oasis. And I think just the way that it ended, it was the last track that I produced for the album, so I really kind of brought all my culmination of experience into that one. I recorded a nice electric guitar solo inspired by one of my favorite guitarists, David Gilmour from Pink Floyd, so it has that musicianship and that vibe, and then it takes you into this just beautiful drop. And then the very end of The Last Oasis and the end of the album turns to this beautiful piano dreamy thing that I recorded the piano actually in New York with Mark Urselli, who's a Grammy award-winning engineer. So really the culmination of the people and places, finishing it with that song really made it my favorite in that way. So this album, how it helps me as an artist, for lack of a better word, it feels legitimized in a way. I think it's one thing for me and how I felt about myself as an artist to put a single out here and there over time, but now putting out an album and having this cohesive sound and theme that came together over the 15 songs just makes me feel really proud, and hopefully people will like it and pay attention. But ultimately I'm just really proud of it for myself, and we'll have a physical CD that I can put on my wall and have some cool merch that I can put out. I just played an incredible show opening for Cream, one of my favorite melodic house and techno progressive house artists. So I think it just made me feel really good about that show and playing some of these songs for the first time, seeing a crowd reaction. I would love, for it to get out there and people to know about it and hear about it and talk about it and share it. My advice to producers is to stick with it. I think the first couple of years, and this certainly applies to other areas of creativity, But production can be very frustrating, particularly because you can feel like you're spinning your wheels for a while. Once I started finishing and just being okay with knowing that, yeah, there's something I might not like about this afterwards, but being okay with that. Being okay if the mix isn't quite perfect. Because honestly, most people are listening for the vibe and the feeling that it gives them. But also know what you want. Not every DJ needs to be a producer. Not every producer needs to be a DJ. But also being willing to put stuff out there. I was really struggling to finish this album, and luckily I was able to kind of follow that advice for myself and just kind of keep at it as long as it took.